Hi, what if I told you that you can get a cup that is as clean as a V60 using just an AeroPress? Hello, so today I'd like to share with you a technique that I've been working on that will produce a cup that is very clean using the Puck Percolation AeroPress method that I'm very fond of. I'm going to give you a background behind this idea as well as talk through some basics, and then I'm going to show you the technique and the recipe. Now, the recipe that I'm going to give you is just a general guideline. There are a lot of room for improvements as well as explorations, so just use it as a starting point. If you're just interested in the technique and the recipe, just skip to the part where I brew the coffee. So the idea behind the AeroPress Pourover came to me when I was trying to find the optimal temperature for making AeroPress soups. I was very dissatisfied with the way that the higher temperature water, such as boiling water, initiating the carbon dioxide release and disrupting the coffee bed, which made the brew very messy when I was doing the AeroPress soup shots at a relatively coarse grounds. So I tried to find the optimal temperature for that, and what I found is that the 70 degrees water does not trigger the carbon dioxide release, and we know from the V60 and French press that the carbon dioxide is actually the enemy of extraction. So you really want to do the blooming phase to off gas, and then the extraction can occur. So now that I found that 70 degrees does not disrupt the coffee bed, I thought, what if I increase the ratio up to the pour over range? And actually the results were pretty good, and the brews were very clean and delicious. And the reason for that is that the Puck Percolation AeroPress method is almost a pure percolation method. Now, the standard AeroPress is mostly an immersion style brew. The percolation part at the end has a very small contribution to the extraction overall. So the standard AeroPress is much more similar to the French press than the V60. And a V60 is mostly a percolation method, but there is still some component of the immersion style brew. When you steep and bloom, when the drawdowns occurs, there is still immersion. Now, the Puck Percolation AeroPress method is really unique in the way that there is a column of clear water on top of the coffee puck, and you are pushing the clean water through the puck. So it is almost purely percolation, and it definitely tastes very similar to V60. So yeah, I think that that's very interesting, and the cups that I've brewed were very delicious and tasty. So let's talk about some variables in the brew. I've used 60 degrees water, 65 degrees water and 70 degrees water, and I found that 70 degrees extracts more, which is not surprising. So I'm going to use 70 degrees to extract as much as I can. Surprisingly, the grind size matters a lot in this method because it's almost purely percolation method. I'm using ZP6 Special. I found that when I ground my coffee at 3.5, I get around 19 to 20% extraction yield. When I ground at 4.0, I get something like a 17% extraction yield. So a little variance in the grind size will produce different cups. As for the coffee and water dose, I've kept them constant. 17 grams of coffee and 250 grams of water. Now, this is totally an unexplored area. I think that you can lower the dose to increase the extraction, but get a lower TDS, as well as increase the dose to get less extraction but higher TDS. And it will produce vastly different cups. So you can just try it yourself and find if you like it or not. I want to remind you that the recipe will be just a general guideline. Don't take the recipe that I'm going to share as something final. And the last variable that I want to talk about is the brew duration. So I'm always trying to keep my brew duration at around 2 minutes, but you can definitely experiment with the higher flow. I've done it once and tried to brew in around 1 minute, and I still got a pretty nice extraction at 19% extraction. So this is something that you can explore as well. Also, when you pour your water into the AeroPress, there will be some drips coming through, And I haven't tried the style of brew where you just pour the water and let it drip through. So this is something you can explore as well. I should probably just stop talking right now and show you the technique and the recipe. Let's go. To start off, we're going to use 17 grams of coffee. I'm using decaf because it's 6 p.m. right now. We're going to grind medium. I've tested the grind setting on ZP6 Special from 3.5 to 4.0 and they all taste good. So try it and dial into your taste. Right now we're going to grind at 3.5 on ZP6 Special. Now let's assemble our AeroPress. Put the bottom paper filter on the cap. Screw the cap. Add your coffee grounds. Now shake it a little bit to level the grounds and drop it. Put another paper filter on top and use your plunger to push it down. And apply a little bit of pressure to your coffee bed to tamp the grounds. Now pull the plunger out. You can see that the coffee is tamped. Put your paper filter on the AeroPress and push it down with your AeroPress stirrer and add it on just on top of the coffee puck. Like this. Now heat your water up to 70 degrees and now let's add 250 grams of 70 degrees water. You can see how clear the liquid is on top of the coffee puck. Now, seal your AeroPress and try to aim for 2 minutes total. Two minutes and 10 seconds, 12 seconds, it's fine. So you'll see that the brew is pretty layered, so you need to stir it before drinking it. Let's stir the brew. Let's taste it. That's a very delicious cup. It's very black tea-like, with a lot of sweetness and acidity in it, and the apples just pop out of this decaf. So yeah, I'm very satisfied. And it has a pretty light body, I should add. And the astringency is pretty low because this method is a low agitation method. So yeah, I hope that you'll try this recipe and this technique. Let me know in the comments if you've tried it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. What variables did you change to make a more enjoyable cup of coffee? How does it compare to the standard AeroPress? And how does it compare to V60? I hope it was helpful, I hope that it was interesting, and thank you for watching and see you next time.